Hello students, friends, you are welcome again in video lecture series on the topic Bryophytes. So today I am going to discuss the type Rixia. So under the heading of this Rixia, I am going to discuss the important parts in this topic Rixia. Systematic position of this type Rixia, then distribution of this type Rixia, then morphological characters of Rixia and anatomical characters of Rixia. In addition to this topic also includes the reproduction in the Rixia. So as far as systematic position of this plant is concerned, this plant shows this type of systematic position or classification: kingdom plantae, subkingdom cryptogams, division Bryophyte, class Hepatici. It is also known as Hepaticopsida. Order Marchanceans, family Rixiaceae, and name of the genus Rixia. So, if you see the distribution or occurrence of this Rixia is one of the important genus, belongs to Hepaticopsida or Hepatici class. It comprises near about 200 species which are found to be distributed in temperate as well as tropical regions of the world. That means it is worldwide in distribution. In temperate regions as well as tropical regions, the Rixia is commonly occurring. In our country, near about 33 species of Rixia are reported. So, as far as their occurrence is concerned, Rixia is commonly found on the moist soils, damp soils, shady places, as well as on the rock surface during rainy season. So, this is a short-lived plant. It completes its life cycle within very short duration, during rainy season only. If we try to collect the Rixia during winter season, we can't get single plant of Rixia because the life cycle of this plant completes within very short duration, within few months, in rainy season only. Then next part of this topic, Rixia, morphological characters of this Rixia. So if we observe the plant body of Rixia, the plant body of Rixia is simple, thalloid. Plant body is dorsiventrally flattened. It is dark green in color. Plant body shows tendency toward dichotomous branching. Thallus is small one, flat one. The length of the thallus varies from 5 to 7 mm. And diameter ranges from 1 to 3 mm only. That means these are the very smallest plants. Plant body is simple, thallus-like. It is dorsiventrally flattened, green one. So thalli of this Rixia are prostrate. That means they are growing along the ground, along the soil surface. That means plant body or habit is prostrate one. Plant body is dorsiventrally flattened one. Plants are green one. So, if we observe the dorsal surface of the thallus is generally green. It is smooth one. It shows mid-dorsal groove. Instead of midrib, there is a mid-dorsal groove, and there is a apical notch at the anterior end in both the lobes. In this apical notch, there is a growing point, and this growing point is responsible for the growth of the thallus. If we see the ventral surface of the thallus is generally rough one due to presence of unicellular mini rhizoids on the mid-dorsal line, as well as scales which are generally multicellular. Location of the scale or site of the scales are generally present at the margins of the thallus as well as at the upper region of the thallus, while the rhizoids are present on the ventral surface of the thallus. They are generally unicellular. The difference between these rhizoids and scales. Rhizoids are unicellular while scales are multicellular. If we observe the structure of these rhizoids, rhizoids are of two types. Smooth walled rhizoids, which are having outer as well as inner walls which are smooth one. Other kind of rhizoids are commonly known as tuberculated rhizoids because these rhizoids possess smooth outer wall and inner wall produces invaginations at the inner side or at the lumen region. So these rhizoids are commonly known as tuberculated rhizoids. So rhizoids are nothing but the extensions of outer walls of the subepidermal cells of the thallus. That means from the lower side of the thallus, epidermal cells, lower epidermal cells extends and produces very fine thread-like appendages, and these thread-like appendages are unicellular. And on the basis of their morphology, they are categorized into two types: smooth walled rhizoids and tuberculated rhizoids. So function of the rhizoid is as like the roots of the higher plants. So you know what are the functions of the root. Root generally perform two functions. First important function of the root is anchorage or fix the plant body firmly on the substratum or in the soil and give the support to the all aerial organs of the plants. Another function performed by the root system or roots is to take part in conduction of nutrients and water from the soil and supply this raw material in the form of nutrients and water to the all aerial organs of the plants. So as like root system of the higher plant, root system is totally absent in lower plants like algae, fungi, bryophyte, etc. That means in this bryophyte member, Rexia also, roots are absent. Instead of roots, rhizoids are there. Rhizoids are unicellular. They take part in fixing the plant body on the substratum or moist soil, as well as it also involved. It is also involved. It is also taking part in the absorption of water as well as food material. So scales are generally present at the margins of the thallus as well as at the apical region of the thallus. Scales are generally multicellular. Scales are scarlet in color, or they are red in color, or they are pink in color. So due to presence of anthocyanin pigments, scales are colored structures, multicellular structures, and they are protective in function. That means scales basically take part in giving protection to the apical region of the thallus, which is having the growing point. Then if we see the internal organization of thallus or anatomical details of the thallus, if we take the transverse section of the thallus and observe under a microscope, the thallus shows boat-like appearance, more or less. The appearance of the thallus or section, transverse section, is looking like the boat. That means thallus is boat-like in appearance. If we observe the case of thallus, thallus shows two distinct regions. This green portion in the thallus, apical portion, is commonly known as photosynthetic region, and lower region of the thallus is generally known as storage region. That means thallus tissue are differentiated into two regions, photosynthetic region and storage region. So if we observe this photosynthetic region is made up of vertically elongated chlorophyll containing cells. That means there are many rows of assimilatory cells or photosynthetic cells are there. This is one row. It is made up of vertically elongated cells which are placed one above the other. All these cells are containing large number of chloroplasts containing chlorophyll pigments. So apical cell in this photosynthetic growth is structurally different. It is not elongated, it is somewhat spherical, and it is highlighted or it is colorless because it is lacking any kind of photosynthetic pigments. So major role played by this photosynthetic region is to take part in the process of photosynthesis. That means these plants are autotrophic in nutrition because the photosynthetic region is involved in the synthesis of the food material in the form of starch. Then if we observe the lower portion of the thallus is also made up of parenchyma cells which are thin walled, compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. So why this region is known as storage region? Because this lower region, which is made up of thin walled, compactly arranged parenchyma cell, it is involved or it is taking part in the storage of the food material in the form of starch. That's why this region is known as storage region. If we observe the lower epidermis is continuous one, and some cells of the lower epidermis develops the thread-like projections or extensions. These are commonly called as rhizoids. So I have told you earlier, rhizoids arising from the lower side of the thallus, lower epidermis of the thallus. There are two types: tuberculated rhizoids and smooth-walled rhizoids. Rhizoids are involved or they are playing important role in anchorage or fixing the plant body firmly on the substratum, as well as rhizoids are also involved in the absorption of the water and nutrients. So if we observe the photosynthetic region shows many rows of photosynthetic cells, and there is a gap between two rows. This gap is commonly known as air chamber, and in between the two apical epidermal cells of successive photosynthetic rows, this air chamber opens with air space, and this air space plays important role in the process of gas dissection. So that's all about the first part of this topic, Rixia. Systematic position, distribution or occurrence, morphology of thallus and anatomical difference of the thallus.